speaking of confusing people, I got to admit that this is the best angle that Kenny and the Buckaroos have ever done on their television. I think this was my favorite segment they have ever done. And I think they should do this every week because they've hit on a strategy here. Their music starts and everybody likes Kansas. So we get to hear some of Carry On My Wayward Son. And then, before they even have time to leave their posed positions in the entranceway, the lights go out. And when the lights come back on, there's the House of Black standing over all three of the EVPs, laying there in a puddle of piss. And the House of Black is holding the 6-man tag team belts that nobody gives a shit about, that were made so that Kenny and his friends could have some belts to play with. And that took 30 seconds. And when this shocking incident happens, they follow it up by going to graphics to pitch the pay-per-view match, and out of that pitch a bunch of other matches. And when they come back, you see 5 seconds of the tail end of the cameras seeing people half-heartedly helping the EVPs back through the entryway and out of the arena, and that's the last we saw of them. That was genius.
You know what I think about the lights out thing, so let's try to actually look at it in kayfabe. Do these wrestlers telepathically have the ability to control the lights coming on and off, or is there, for a generation now, a heel lighting guy, or at least one in every promotion, that takes money on the side from these wrestlers, or he's aligned with them creatively or mentally? What in any way would cause this? It's the idea of getting a slight pop, of getting a reaction to something that in your head looks cool, but was it as effective as those guys standing there and House of Black runs out and kicks the shit out of them and leaves? I don't think so. Again, what you have in your head for the horror movie that no one's ever going to pay to see is different than what works for professional wrestling. So, no, lights out, lights on, that's beyond lazy booking at this point. You're a fucking idiot. Find something else.
Well, but no, now they did it in ECW. And ECW is what they're trying to do here now. They did it in the ECW. Again, every great once in a while, when they started doing this in the 90s, if there was a blackout and the lights came on and there was a shocking surprise or a debut or whatever, you'd kind of get by with it because everybody's caught up in the moment. But once that worked, and then Paul made it a point to have a surprise as a regular thing, and that popularized it with the Mark crowd. And then, now the lights just go out when they do, everywhere, because that's a thing you do in wrestling, because these knuckleheads haven't been around long enough, know that, no, it doesn't have to be that way. But anytime I can only see these characters for 30 seconds, I'll take it. I enjoyed that angle with them better than anything else, especially because of what we had for the next 25 minutes.